Hello ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be covering the Rust movie shooting again today because a lot of stuff has come out surrounding it. Really surprising stuff, in fact. Stuff which I would say somewhat incriminates certain individuals, although accounting for sort of high stress situations, some things could have been said. Now we're going to look at an overall article courtesy of Deadline. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Department has released numerous files, basically, and numerous recordings, body cam footages, everything. There is, in fact, an entire interview, the police interview with Alec Baldwin. I don't think that's that interesting, personally. It's pretty much the stuff that he's already said. There's nothing incriminating there. The really incriminating thing is actually about Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the armorer on the set of Rust, who basically says, I effed up, my whole career is dead. Pretty incriminating stuff. And also, not only that, her general demeanour when she's in the cop car is one of a bored teenager. And it's quite disrespectful, considering the fact someone has just died. So we're going to dive into that. I do think this video will probably be copyright claimed because that video is on TMZ, even though the Sheriff's Department have released the footage. So I'm just going to preemptively say, hey guys, we live in a clown world. Please do support the channel and buy some of my merchandise, or just become a member. There's links to all of it. It's in the description box. It's my second channel. But the merch is underneath the video. There's some really cool designs, and they're one of a kind because they're made for me. But let's take a look at the Deadline article first. So, Rust movie shooting investigation files have been released by Santa Fe Sheriff's Department. Now, the interesting thing about this is actually, well, I found the interesting thing about this was the fact that the FBI are involved in this in some capacity. It's still an ongoing investigation. It's important to note. But yeah, so the Santa Fe County Sheriffs today released all files associated with our ongoing investigation into the shooting of director of photography Helena Hutchins on the set of Alec Baldwin's starring film Rust last year. Baldwin was holding the gun when it discharged. So this is the statement. Today, the Sheriff's Office is releasing all files associated with our ongoing investigation. The files are all related to the Rust movie set investigation and include lapel dash camera footage from deputies and detectives, incident reports, crime scene photos, examination reports, witness interviews, set video and staff photos collected throughout the course of this investigation, said Mendoza. Now, this is why I still think TMZ will probably try and claim the video. Okay, like that, they have a really nasty habit of doing that, even though they don't own it. But never mind. So the Sheriff's Office also said the investigation remains open and ongoing. Now, we already know Hutchins was killed tragically, and it was from a gun which Alec Baldwin was holding. We know all of this. If you haven't followed this, it's been fascinating to follow. I've done multiple reports on this, and I covered it quite extensively here on the channel. I was really proud of the work, the coverage on this, and I know you guys appreciated it as well. Now, according to Sheriff Mendoza, various components of the investigation remain outstanding. Now, this is including, and this is what's interesting, FBI, firearm, and ballistics forensics, along with DNA and latent fingerprint analysis. Now, that is good, because it shows that they're taking it incredibly seriously, so they should. But I was just surprised that the FBI, firearm, and ballistics forensics got involved. I just found that to be quite surprising. Now, Office of the New Mexico Medical Examiner findings report and the analysis of Mr. Alec Baldwin's phone data extracted by Suffolk County Sheriff's investigators. Now, that's the other thing that's still outstanding, because obviously Mr. Alec Baldwin tried to obstruct the course of the investigation. He refused to give his phone up. He made it an incredibly difficult task for them to get his phone. He even recorded himself going, "Oh, why should they get my phone? Blah 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 blah." It was really unprofessional, whilst also saying, "Yeah, I want the truth." Well, then give them your phone. I mean, that's not hard. So that's still ongoing, which is interesting. So they're still looking through the data. Now, one of these investigative components. Once these investigative components are provided to the Sheriff's Office, we will be able to complete the investigation to forward it to the Santa Fe District Attorney for review. An attorney for Alec Baldwin then said last week that Wednesday's report, this is the New Mexico safety regulator, that report said it exonerates him. We'll see. We will see. And the report cites serious management failures. I mean, he is part of that as a producer, but okay. Now, the film's armourer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, also declared a degree of vindication after the safety reports released Wednesday. And this is their statement through their attorney. Anyway, after OSHA's very comprehensive safety investigation involving numerous interviews and review of documents, it is concluded that production willfully failed to follow national gun safety standards, which caused this tragedy. This is Reed's lawyer. OSHA found that Hannah Gutierrez-Reed was not provided adequate time to resource or to conduct her job effectively, despite her voice concerns. So it is pretty damning. The report is really damning. You can read the whole thing. It's madness. So this is interesting. But what's even more interesting, ladies and gents, is quite literally how she conducts herself. This is minutes after the fatal shooting, ladies and gents. Minutes after. It's body cam footage. And she just doesn't look like she cares. She looks about what you'd expect. She's had like an OnlyFans and tries to be like some weird online, like, I don't know, some online sex worker of some description. I don't really understand it. It's not my bag. I don't understand those things, ladies and gents. I'm old. But it's how she conducts herself, which I found the most sort of abhorrent. The behaviour of her was just gross. Right, anyway, we've gone on. TMZ is such a bad website, it doesn't even work. So we're going from TMZ to another website because TMZ sucks. Anyway, here she just absolutely does not care. And like I said, acts like a petulant child. Right, so I want you to watch this with me now.
Okay, what is your full name?
Hannah, H-A-N-N-A-H. Gutierrez.
How do you spell your last name?
G-U-T-I-E-R-R-E-Z.
What was it again?
G-U-T-I-E-R-R-E-Z.
Your date of birth?
1997.
Nope. And your address?
My address is 2060 Whitewater Drive. Bullhead City, Arizona, sorry.
That's okay.
Forgot where we were.
What's the zip code?
86442.
Okay, and what is a good telephone number for you?
Good telephone number is 928-444-3555.
And your social security number?
0478. I think that's it.
Okay.
Maybe it. Oh, what the f? Why is he pointing at me like that?
No, he's just
Sorry. 0478. Yeah.
Okay. He said Hannah Gutierrez, 1997. Your address is 2060 Whitewater Drive, Bullhead City, Arizona, 86442. What's your place of employment?
Here?
Here? What's the name of the...
Rust.
Is it like a video production or...
Yeah, it's Rust Productions LLC.
Yeah.
What's your job there with them?
I'm the armor. Or at least I was.
Okay. And telephone number again, 928-4...
So, yeah, there you have it. I mean, you can literally hear the sigh that she does. Awful. I just think it's the sigh of a bored woman. A very petulant child, by the sounds of things. Loads of people have been sharing this video around. This isn't the one which shot Helena Hutchins. Loads of people think this video here is actually the video that led to her death. It's not. I know that's not. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Department said it's not. Anyone claiming that it is doesn't know what they're talking about. But what this does show is that his finger is on the trigger. So, I mean, if this is, you know, if this is how he was acting, then you never know, right? You know, he said that his finger, he said his finger was on the trigger and he didn't pull it. I mean, you can see like a hammer gets pulled back there as well. You can see like it rolls and stuff. So I don't know. It's pretty incriminating stuff. There's a load of images and things like that. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty madness. And like I said, you know, here's the interview that's there. The whole interview, loads of stuff was released. Some of it more incriminating than others. Some of it more relevant than others. But for me, it was more just like how bored Hannah Gutierrez Reed was. Really quite insulting, I think, personally. But it'll be interesting now this has come out. It seems to be a lot more movement has occurred on it. A huge amount of movement on it. Now, this article doesn't actually have the body cam footage where she states, because she goes to the toilet basically, and a sheriff goes with her, and she adds, you know, she's asked, film's armourer, she goes, I am, or I was, welcome to the worst day of my life. So all about her, a very petulant child. I'm the only female armourer in the game, and I just effed up my whole career, calling herself an effing failure. So that's pretty incriminating. But more as a character study, it goes to show what kind of an individual she's like, which is pretty gross, to be honest. All about her at that point. Someone's just died. So, you know, it's tragic. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below. Again, I don't think the other stuff is that interesting. I can bring it to you if you want, but I don't think it's that interesting. I try to bring you the most relevant bits and pieces rather than just flooding you with stuff which I don't think has any relevance. But let me know. Cheers, guys. Take care.